Which compact phone has the best battery life? And does the new iPhone 16 Pro live up to the hype? Hello everyone, Vic with PhoneArena here, and after spending the last few days running our in-house battery tests, the results are in. So on the table we have a bunch of new compact phones. We have the new iPhone 16 Pro, the iPhone 15 Pro from last year, Samsung's Galaxy S24, then we have Google's Pixel 9 Pro and the Pixel 9, and finally we have the Xiaomi 14, another compact phone. There are not that many smaller phones around, so these are probably your best options now. The iPhone 16 Pro is of course the newest phone here, and it gets a nearly 10% bigger battery compared to last year's 15 Pro, so we have high hopes for it. And we're also curious to see how long the Pixel 9 phones last, as they have a 4700 mAh battery, both of them, which is the biggest capacity of all the phones here. So let's kick things off with our first test, which is web browsing. All phones are fully juiced up and we'll be draining them to show you the battery life. And we always set the screen on all phones to the same brightness level for equal conditions before the start of the test, and the test runs over a Wi-Fi connection. Alright, you can see that this test is a script cycling through web pages and scrolling around, kind of simulating a real browsing experience. We cannot show you the full test run since it takes very long hours, so what you see right now in this video is an illustration. So with all of this in mind, let's get forward to the interesting part. Let's see which phones die first. And first we see the black screen at 14 hours and 54 minutes, and it's on the iPhone 15 Pro. So let's flip it around. That is decent performance, but not quite great. And you can tell because we need to wait quite a bit longer until the next phone bites the dust, and next one to run out of juice is the Xiaomi 14 with a score of 16 hours and 5 minutes, which is much better. Fast forward again, and not too long after we have the Galaxy S24 tap out at 16 hours and 18 minutes, very close to the Xiaomi. Now we have 3 phones left, and the next one to die is the new iPhone 16 Pro. It gets a score of 16 hours and 35 minutes, which is nearly an hour and a half longer than the 15 Pro. This is good improvement, but not quite the best in this battle of compact phones. So the 2 phones left are both Pixels, and the Pixel 9 Pro actually finishes a bit earlier than the vanilla model with a score of 17 hours exactly, while the Pixel 9 lasts a bit longer and finally runs out of battery 17 hours and 34 minutes after the beginning of the test. To recap, the iPhone 15 Pro from last year had a very mediocre performance. All other phones were above the 16-hour mark, and the Pixel phones win this first round. Alright, but browsing is not everything. Time for round number 2, and you might identify with this one. With all the phones fully charged, this time we're running the same YouTube video playlist on all of them, and this test is a bit more intense and probably a bit more realistic since we watch more videos than browsing. So again, we have all the phones playing back videos, and we zip forward to the moment one runs out of juice, and the first one is again the iPhone 15 Pro. It gets a score of 6 hours and 54 minutes. This is just average, and we certainly can expect better even for a compact phone. But only a few minutes later, the Xiaomi 14 also dies, not reaching the 7-hour mark. So these are not great scores, but all the other phones actually last quite a bit longer. So we have to wait and wait until finally we see the Galaxy S24 run out of juice at 8 hours and 20 minutes, which is nearly an hour and a half longer than the iPhone and the Xiaomi. So that is a much better showing. Not long after, we see the Pixel 9 tap out with a score of 8 hours and 28 minutes, and it ran neck to neck with the new iPhone 16 Pro, which gets a score of just 1 minute longer. So this leaves the Pixel 9 Pro as the winner in this test with a slight advantage as it finishes the race at 8 hours and 47 minutes. Once again, we have a recap in the chart, so you can pause the video here if you want to see the results for each model. Now we have one more test, which is just 3D gaming. stressing the GPU, but for this one we'll just show you the numbers. And surprisingly, here the Pixel 9 Pro gets 7 hours and 21 minutes, which is definitely a bit strange considering all others get a higher score. This might have been an anomaly though, so we'll have to retest this in further detail and we'll update you on our webpage PhoneArena.com. Anyway, the iPhone 15 Pro gets nearly an hour and a half longer, the iPhone 16 Pro is nearly another hour on top of that, and then we have the vanilla Pixel 9 with around 10 hours, the Xiaomi 14 with 10 hours and 18 minutes, and surprisingly the Galaxy S24 gets the win with 10 hours and 45 minutes. And I can already hear you, so many numbers, so let's try and bring some sense into them. So based on our testing, we come up with two final numbers, which are screen time and days of use. So if you want the final picture, this is it. The iPhone 15 Pro ranks last here in our testing with 5 hours and 43 minutes of screen time. The Galaxy S24 is only slightly better with an estimated 5 hours and 59 minutes of screen time, or around 1.25 days of use. The Xiaomi 14 gets 6 hours and 6 minutes screen time, 1.27 days of use. And the iPhone 16 Pro is a welcome upgrade as it gets 6 hours and 35 minutes of screen time, or 1.37 days of use. But the two Pixel phones are the winners here. The Pixel 9 Pro scores 6 hours and 52 minutes or 1.43 days of use, and the vanilla Pixel 9 gets 7 hours and 31 minutes or 1.57 days of use. So keep in mind that we got a strange score for gaming that might be throwing off the Pixel 9 Pro score a bit, so it could be even slightly better than that. But at the end of the day, we have some good news. Both the iPhone 16 Pro and the Pixel 9 bring much improved battery life compared to before. However, if you want the compact phone with the best battery life, the Pixel 9 seems to be it for the moment. So there you have it. We have plenty more iPhone 16 and Pixel 9 videos on the way, so make sure to subscribe to the channel to not miss out. My name is Vic, checking out.